along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all. We'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. No wonder is forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue. Sing along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all. We'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. No wonder is forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue.
Hello and welcome to TIO Stadium for Under 18 Football, NTFL TIO 2022-2023 season. You with Stu Davis and Rob Hale. Stu, how you going, mate?
Good, thanks, Rob.
Got a good game of footy here, guys. Also, it's umpiring round, and umpiring is a good way to get fit. NTFL umpiring is training's held on Tuesday and Thursdays from 5:30. Got a good match here with St Mary's going up against Wanderers, Stu. Saints undefeated so far this year with a few key outs. Wanderers yet to win, but they've only lost by 4 or 5 goals, both to Crocs and Pies this season.
Yeah, been competitive, I think. So,
yeah.
And as you said, a few key outs for Saints. Perhaps evens things up a bit, and looking forward to a good contest.
Yeah, some key players to keep an eye out for you viewers at home. Joel Burke, 5 for Saints, 6 Anthony McWilliams, Nathan McPhee, the 8, 16 Jed Fairchild, Brett Wilson, 19, should have a good game. There's a few others, Michael Williams and Connor Williams down back, Byron Ahmad up forward. And for Wanderers, we haven't seen Wanderers yet, Stu, but keep an eye out for Michael DeBush, the 1, Jaden Bill, 13, Preston Patrick, and a few others, Tyson White, their captain, number 2.
So we're underway now. Ball's thrown up in the centre of the ground, and it's Saints running onto it there for was Brett Wilson, gets a little long inside forward 50, but good defensive work. Crumbing at the front of the pack there was Braden Wright for Wanderers, and got the clearing kick out towards the wing, but Saints first to it through Gabiku, who gets past his opponent and then hand passes long over the top, and the hand pass was half smothered there and by Parry. Now Saints again through Galel, looking to get the ball over the top, but again good pressure from the Wanderers defence down there, keeping preventing Saints from moving the ball forward freely, and here's an opportunity to come out. It's a strong tackle, but the tackle was high according to the umpire, and it'll be a Wanderers free kick to Caden Baker.
You also got Cecil Purantatamere, Stu, number 9, so let's keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, new player in for Saints,
yep.
And just came across his previously registered with Tiwi and going to school in Melbourne, as I understand. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fits in this pretty strong Saints lineup.
Yeah, might be Daniel Marr, maybe. It's a bit hard with the glare at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's a difficult time of the day, but it's probably more difficult playing at this time of day than commentating, Robin.
Yep.
So
like the captain,
yeah, that's a long kick down and gets over the back, and Saints defenders scrambling back, and it was Jed Fairchild who got there first and hand passed it through for a rush behind while he was under pressure, so no problem there.
Jed Fairchild, an under 16 kid playing up the side of Hammer Fairchild from the Banks Footy Club. Good kick out.
Oh, looking there for Jalel, who just spilt the mark but recovered and got first to the ball, tried to hand pass over the top to his teammate there in Parry, but the ball bounced away and over the boundary line, so it'll be a ball up. We don't unfortunately have boundary umpires for this game, and as Robbie was saying, it is umpires round, and anyone that's half keen should get out and have a crack at it, because there's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. Number 7 for Wanderers, John Frill as well, one to keep an eye out for. Dangerous small forward.
So Bush there,
Frill
the ball up, was bundled over the boundary line. Yeah, strong tackle by Frill, and again it's out of bounds, and we'll have a restart again.
It's only 16 minutes in the under 18s as well, the quarters, for those viewers at home.
It's probably all they need this time of day.
No, definitely. Both sides only have 4 and 3 on the bench as well, Stu.
Yeah.
Normally have 6, so some heavy rotations, I'd imagine.
So ball free and kicked out of there by Bush, high into the air in the marking contest. Jaleel got his hands to it, and then in trying to put some pressure on his opponent, just infringed over the shoulder and gave away the free kick. But kick into the mark by Braden Wright and gives Saints another opportunity. There's a bit of a crude tackle called there, and I think it's Wanderers free kick once again, and it's Possingham with the free kick. He kicks down towards half forward now. In front was McPhee, took a strong mark with the pack coming behind him. And he kicks high along the wing, looking for Coleman here in the middle of the pack. Ball spills to ground. Good work through the hands by Jallo, but Saints have coughed it up, and a quick kick forward is close to the boundary line, and with no boundary umpire to see exactly where it was, the umpire's gone the conservative call and said it was touched before it went out.
Yeah, it's the 3rd time now we balled up in that little spot there, and yeah, very hot day today.
So just looking for the ruck nominees, and it's Wanderers who win that hit out. Plenty of players around the ball, picked up nicely in there, and a hand passed out by Bill running through. Good hand pass over the top into space, and here's a chance for Wanderers if they've created the loose man, but Bush got back there for Saints and just chopped that one off, got a quick kick out. But now Wanderers again with a flying shot towards goal. It's always offline. I think the mark's being claimed, but goal umpire says it was over the line, and that was a kick by Possingham coming in.
Yeah.
And another behind to Wanderers. So surprisingly a bit, Wanderers have had all the play in their forward half so far, Robbie.
Yeah, St Mary's have a few of those key outs, and so Wanderers is a real winnable game for them today. Really capitalise on these forward 50 entries though.
So Jallo on the other side, but his kick's intercepted, and Patrick takes the mark out there for Wanderers. He's looking to bring the ball back in towards half forward, looking there for Howard just over his head, and Saints defenders working overtime there, but just a mishandle there gives Wanderers another opportunity. The kick comes in towards goal. It's bouncing. I think it's bounced into the goalpost, and they had a loose player in the goal square as well. So unfortunately there for Wanderers. Yeah,
Jaden Bill there, number 15. He's come across from Nycliffe, I believe, so he's played a lot of 18s footy. Looking dangerous early. Good hit from Fairchild there.
Yeah,
Brett
Saints
Wilson.
with the numbers. Brett Wilson. Yeah,
Brett Wilson's going to need a big game today for Saints to get the team over the line.
Yeah, he's been in terrific form, and Madrill off of half back just kicks it high down towards the centre of the ground. Burke is first there with his hands on it, just couldn't quite control it, but managed to advance it 10 metres or so. He's back involved again and picks it up this time and kicks inside an open forward line, but there's a one-on-one down there, and Wanderers best placed, and now they've got some runners out here if they can just get in the clear. But again, strong defence by Bush. Terrific tackle, and that really held up their forward thrust, and now he's got a runner out wide, and it's a terrific pass to Kabiku, but he then spilt the ball as he tried to take off after marking. He gets in there again, gets a quick kick forward, and now it's Parry who runs onto it. He's tackled with the ball, it spills out. Play-on's the call, and he scoops it up to his teammate there in McWilliams, I think it is, and he kicks long on the left, goes across the face of goal and bounces out of bounds. Or, in fact, I think it's been called out on the full, has it?
Yeah.
Yep, so it'll be a Wanderers free kick in the back pocket.
So with the umpiring, guys, you have to be 12 or above, and it's a good little cash. You get free registration and no fees with the uniform costs or anything like that as well.
And get into the footy for free, so watch as much as you want. So it's Wanderers who brought it out of defence now, and got it around this grandstand wing down towards half forward. Is working hard down there. Was Friel, keeps it in play and now cleverly gets away from his opponent. Hand passes inboard to his captain White. White goes inboard. Oh, through the hands over the back. Here's a real opportunity for Wanderers on the outside of the foot. That was pretty good work down there by Daniel Maher, and there was a couple of them could have ruffled it really, but Maher with the good skills just laid it across his boot and from about 15 out and put it straight through for the first goal of the game. Yeah,
Daniel Maher there. He's played a few years in the under-18 age group. There's also captain with Tyson White, so it was good ball movement there. A bit of communication stuff previously on that first exit there. They got cut off with the Bush. And the other team, I can't remember who it was, but that was a great play there. Capitalising on this forward 50 entries early. St Mary's today with a few key players out from what we've watched previously, Stu. So Brett Wilson, Nathan McPhee, Ethan Bush has been good. Those guys are going to really have to do a lot of heavy lifting today, I feel.
Yeah, that's right. And they've had some domination in the ruck. I think one of those is out as well, just looking through. But anyway, so it's, that's right. So some big changes. There's a block called here, and it's Zane Jalel who'll take the free kick. He's been involved a bit, but given away a couple of frees so far. But he's another player that they'll be looking to lift a bit from last time we saw him play. And
definitely,
he goes long inside 50. And storming out was the Wanderers defender, but missed the ball. And now Saints again trying to get a kick on goal, but the kick's smothered. Here's another opportunity on the outside of the boot, goes down towards goal, but just drifted across. And that was Jeevan Parry who kicked it on the outside of the boot, but just overcooked it a bit out to the right.
Yeah, Byron Matt there just got caught by his defender. Had it a couple of times, but just playing front there, Byron.
So the kick comes in and pushed under the ball is the umpire's call.
It's the captain, Tyson White there.
Tyson White, yeah. He's had a couple of touches early, looks pretty good.
He's got a nice leg on him.
Yeah.
He's been on the Premier League squad a few times as well on their team sheets, but hasn't played yet.
So Bush again across half back, just does some good work. It's hands off to King. King's kick is intercepted though, and Preston Patrick takes that mark, looks to bring the ball back inside the corridor, and he finds Howard in some space just backward of centre. He runs away. There's a 50-metre penalty been paid here, and not sure if that was a player infringing or some words said, but it's Howard who's keen to get things going forward. So that 50-metre penalty brings him to about 55 out. He drills a pass inside 50. It's a good pass and a good stretching mark, and Wanderers really all over Saints in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, definitely. Like young Johnny Frill, I think this is lining up. He's we just seen him on the boundary before also too. Williams inside out. He's one of those players, Stu, that they're going to require a match-up. He's a pretty good shot on goal as well.
So his kick looks like it's fading left, and just makes it over the line for a behind. So only the one goal on the board, and really Wanderers would have hoped for a bit more reward than that for the amount of play that they've had.
And it is, the scoring end as well at times, isn't it? So a lot of inside 50s.
Yep. So the ball on the outer side, and now it's White again. Gets a handball received this time. It has a bounce, runs inside 50, but just ran himself into some traffic there, and Saints closed, and now an opportunity through McWilliams. Gets the hand pass across. Wilson chips the ball in looking for Parry there, but the ball's knocked away from him to the ground in there, just trying to scoop it out, but Wanderers have got some numbers now as they paddle it forward. Ball spills out into a bit of space here, but now back into the congestion, and it's nothing clean coming out of it at the moment, but Bush was clean, and he gets a quick kick forward out wide. Mark spilled out there by McPhee, I think it is, and swings around on the left. He recovered well and kicked long inside 50 again. It's a really open forward line for Saints. Wanderers working back to help out now, and there's a free kick been paid for holding, and so Wanderers with a chance to relieve from half back again. They've spread pretty well out to the grandstand side, and Bromott takes the mark. He plays on now and comes further grandstand way, but chipping in there for Saints in defence was Madrill. Cut it off nicely. He looks to chip it into the centre of the ground. His player's under some pressure, but Jalel kept his cool and took the chest mark. That's not the best kick, but it's fortunately landed in the hands of Parry, who goes wide looking for Stavrey out there. He's rolling away towards the boundary line, and in the end Stavrey can't keep it in, and it'll be a boundary throw in, or it'll be a ball up actually, in lieu of a boundary throw in.
Yeah, there's been a lot of even contribution so far from both sides. We see the bench is starting to get rotated a bit here in these 16-minute quarters. This heat.
So Saints have it at half forward. There's a blocking free kick, and it'll go St Mary's way in the ruck contest.
Only 3 minutes to go. It's going to be a very important forward 50 entry.
Yeah, Saints will be looking to hit the scoreboard here, I would think, as the kick goes high to the top of the goal square. Players flying, but no one could take it. Ahmad in there gets dispossessed, and now a snapshot at goal from Kabiku, but Kabiku's shot was always wide and just snuck through for a behind.
Yeah, it was a good call from the umpire there not to get sucked into those ones. I don't like those free kicks being played. They often do get paid up here.
So Wanderers out of defence go short to Katona. He's got a player out wide, and there's another loose down here on the wing, and that's right. Goes over his head, and he's going to have to work to keep it in play. He tried to tap it forward, lost control. Burke comes in and puts the pressure on and picks up and does really well for Saints. And then he's got some players loose in the middle of the ground. If they move the ball quickly here, it's Wilson. He drives the ball down to towards centre half forward, but he picked out his Wanderers opponent, who spilt the mark. And now an opportunity for Saints through Jallo, who kicks high inside forward 50, and Stavrey looks like he's underneath this one. He takes the mark about 25 out on about a 45 degree angle. So yeah, you just see when the ball slips out of the hands, it gives the opposition an opportunity, and Saints pounced that time and found some players in some space, and it ended with Stavrey for a shot on goal.
Yeah, St Mary's Wanderers out a lot of the play in this first quarter, so this will be a very important goal if he gets through, and he's got it.
I think he has just chipped it over the line, and so, as you say, Robbie, a really important goal to really tighten up the contest. And I think it's fair to say that after Wanderers had all the play early, Saints have had a fair bit of it in the back half of this quarter.
Yeah, Stavrey's the first goal for St Mary's, and Daniel Marr was the first goal scorer of the game for Wanderers, number 24, the co-captain. Very hot day. A couple of both sides have a few on the bench, only 3 or 4, so they're going to be rotating heavily. A very good goal there from St Mary's, not having the run of play, and then being able to get that last goal with about 1:30 to go. A lot of forward 50 entries for the Wanderers.
So just waiting for...
Yeah, big Jaden Russell coming into the ruck here, I believe, yep.
Yeah, Wanderers looking to get their setup right before we get restarted. So about a minute to go in this quarter, and it's a big fella Kazamba for Saints, who wins the hit out forward. McWilliams on the end of that gets a hand pass back inside. Kazamba's again in there again, picks up and now kicks down towards half forward. A marking contest there, but Wanderers had the numbers and managed to clear it out of defence to the wing here. But plenty of St Mary's players around. If they can use the ball cleverly, they can. Panaris has some space and kicks long down towards full forward. Mark spilt again down there, and Saints first to it on the ground, but they're under plenty of pressure trying to work it out. Eventually the hand pass comes out to Wilson. He ducks one way, then the other, then hand passes to a teammate who had a little bit of space, but off to McWilliams now. He shoots at goal. It's swinging. He's got it inside that right hand post, and they worked it pretty well down there. Wanderers were scrambling in defence, getting pressure on, but Saints kept their cool, used it through the hands, and eventually got it out to McWilliams on the left foot.
Yeah, McWilliams is one of those kids that has some good attributes about him. St Mary's, it's a sign of a good side, isn't it, when things aren't going your way and fighting back in this last 3 minutes to score 2 goals.
Yeah, that's right, and take the lead at quarter time, when really for most of the quarter it looked like Wanderers with a better side.
Here at TIO Stadium here for umpires round 2-14 for St Mary's, 1-4-10 for Wanderers. St Mary's goal kickers McWilliams, Starvey, Daniel Marr for Wanderers. Stay tuned for the second quarter.
To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game. Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstormer.
From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for under-18 football. We've got St Mary's up against Wanderers in the umpires round. Umpiring is a great way to get fit and get paid, and umpire training is on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30, and all you have to be is 12 years old and get free entry as well to all games. Very good game here to start this first quarter here, Stu. St Mary's fighting back. Bromett, Friel, Wright and White were all good for Wanderers, and Bush, Wilson, Fairchild, Jaleel, Parry were some of the ones I noticed early for St Mary's as well.
Yeah, and obviously the under-18 boys competition is pretty competitive this year, and Wanderers really don't look like a winless side, do they, Robbie? They've been pretty impressive in the first quarter and taken it right up to Saints. So, yeah, I think just looking across the competition, there's going to be competitive games almost every time they run out this year.
Yeah, definitely. And both sides, I think Antoine O'Connell was laid out as well for Wanderers. St Mary's just were pretty much the second best side there for most of that quarter, and then come back in like 4 minutes and a couple inside 50s and 2 goals, and that's really good for Saints coming into the second quarter. They might have a bit of momentum here. We'll see how it goes. Brett Wilson, 19, wanted to watch for Saints in the middle here.
And that's normally we have a recall for a bounce, but just got stuck on the umpire's hand there, I think. So we'll try again. And Big Kazamba goes with the back of the fist this time, but Wanderers are bred at best and look like getting the clearances. The ball comes out wide. Good use of the hands with a free player out the back, and Bromott swings around on the left foot, goes wide towards half forward. Coming in there was Fairchild, got a fist to the ball, did really well. It kept his feet, and then he picked up and hand passed nicely to his teammate Gabizu, who goes long towards half forward, but Wanderers have worked back and through the hands, try to work it out wide. Running onto it down there is Patrick. He tries to find a teammate. That was a heavy hit there, and
a bit high there.
Umpire, not the closest umpire, has called the free kick, and it's Paul Forrester who will take that. He's got a free player in the corridor and he chips the ball that way, and now Caden Baker is off and running, has a bounce and looks to chip short, but he's kicked it straight into the opponent in front of him, but he's recovered well to lay the tackle there, and he gets rewarded with the free kick. So
you got the switch of play there, Stu, but the Wanderers boys on the midfield just all walking through the middle, and they're still all walking. Like, really need to work across here and create options and run. Yeah,
and even then, like, he had the free player there, and the pass just missed, and
it's good.
Couldn't, just trickled out of bounds, and so an opportunity gone begging.
Yeah, it's very good to switch the footy, but the whole idea of switching it so the midfield will come across as well.
So it's the big fella Kazamba who kicks forward, and Saints with the opportunity to go inside again. Again, the pass just misses, but now a chance for Big Coleman. He picks up, snaps towards goal. It's on high. It's going to bounce on the goal line, and bounces the right way for St Mary's, and kept going through for the goal. So yeah, that was really high, and no one in the goal square, of course, and bounced through for Saints' first goal of the quarter.
Yeah, Ethan Coleman there, son of Tony Coleman and Mags Coleman, prominent Darwin family, as mentioned in round one, sponsored Saints for 40 years. Great goal from St Mary's there, just workmanlike, just working a bit harder than Wanderers at the moment. Wanderers will have to lift that work rate a bit. This midfield's starting to get on top and spreading and working harder.
Yeah, so that's the last 3 goals of the game to St Mary's after Wanderers got off to a bit of a flyer.
Definitely.
So Kazamba just thumps this one forward, but coming in off the wing for Wanderers was Thomas Knight. His kick was smothered. He's in the action again, gets bundled out of the way by Jaleel this time, but still can't find any space, and it's crowded up. But quick kick off the ground, sees the ball get down to half forward, and McWilliams makes some space and kicks beautifully inside 50, hits the target going forward, and that's the big fella Armat.
Big bangerang, sitting beautiful. Yeah, Mick Williams has really good skills there as well, really clean, and laced out Armat there, and he didn't have to move.
Yeah, that's right, and awareness, just lifted the eyes, had a look what was ahead, and drilled the pass, which was spot on to Armat in the hands overhead, and he's kicking from about 30 out now, stabs at it, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle, and so Saints really starting to hit their gears now with the first couple of goals of this second quarter.
Yeah, that's 2 goals in it'll be the first 4 minutes by the time the umpire balls it up very quick. 16-minute quarters here. AFL and TIO are currently recruiting field and boundary and goal umpires for all grades. Head to umpire.afl for more information or to register your interest as well, guys. There's no game without the umpires. Great fight back from St Mary's here. Wanderers really need to lift their intensity here, as mentioned before. Hot conditions, guys. 3 and 4 players on each bench. Normally there's 6, so just working through that.
So Kazamba again, he's just too tall for him in the middle, gets a hit out, and running onto it was McPhee. Chipped the ball out, it's bouncing out towards the boundary line out on the outer side, and players can't keep it in, so we'll have a restart on the wing in front of the old scoreboard, which has the TIO logo prominent on it.
Yeah.
Zambra again gets a hit out, but White read it best. The ball was knocked free from him, calling for the free kick, but again ignored by the umpires, and Wilson gets on the end of this one. Helicopters one really inside forward 50, but it's to the advantage of his teammate Panaris down here. He ducks back inside, kicks along towards goal. Matt was in pretty good position, but just got worried out of it a bit, I think.
Yeah,
and
had to see it.
Yeah, it's bounced over the line for a behind, so Wanderers a chance to reset from defence here.
Preston Patrick, is it?
Yep, it's gone short to White in the back pocket. He's got a lead on the near side of the ground, doesn't see that and decides to run off himself and go long round the outer side, and it's a pretty good kick, and finds his teammate out there, Patrick Rowe I think it is, takes a nice mark, and he's looking to keep the ball close to the boundary line on the outer side. In fact, it's might have drifted over on the full, and it'll be a St Mary's free kick on that outer wing, and this is Connor Williams I think, who was pretty impressive last week when we saw him.
Yeah, he was the one that did that smother as well.
Yeah.
In that first quarter, sorry, that really stopped one of Wanderers' forward plays. If Wanderers going to get back in this, they're going to need Tyson White and those sort of boys to really take go to the next level. Johnny Frill, I think, has moved onto the ball, which is a good move.
Well, it's a solid hit after Ethan Bush had kicked the ball from the free kick, and unnecessary stuff, and the umpire's seen it that way, so it'll be a downfield free kick. It looks like Jaleel might be getting on the end of this one.
Yeah, in the absence of a few key players for St Mary's, Ethan Bush has been, I think, a standout today, hasn't he? He's been good.
Yeah, he has been terrific across half-back there. In fact, it's not Jaleel who's going to take this free kick. It might be Jello. He kicks long to the goal line. Oh, Mark spilt back there, but Preston Patrick was on the spot and got hands to it over the line, so they're behind again. So Wanderers bring it near side this time. It's a good pass, and finds DeBush in the back pocket. He's got a free down the wing, but goes inboard a bit instead, and Saints are lining up there, and marked by Stavry, who's chips the ball inside forward 50 now. Players fly, but the ball gets to the back of the pack. But first there for Saints was Gabiku. He tried to hand pass to his teammate, but Wanderers have cleared it out, and Kelvin Howard switches now a bit dangerously, but found his teammate at Patrick, who tried to run off and lost control of the ball. He's got some help now and gets it back, and under plenty of pressure he wheels back inboard, goes by hand to Howard. Howard kicks it out of the danger area out towards the centre of the ground. It slips to the back of the pack where Wanderers have got some numbers now. If they can work it through the hands, the hand pass goes out. O'Connell out wide, just under pressure, just mishandled the ball, and then there was a kicking in danger free kick paid, and Saints steady and bring it out again. McPhee takes the mark just forward of centre towards the outer side of the ground. Slows things down now, and chips really high, going just inside 50, and it's been tidied up pretty easily in defence by Dylan Baker for Wanderers, who goes wide where he's got a couple of numbers out there, but the ball gets to the back. Madrill out there does well, gets the hand pass to Jaleel. Jaleel chips in short and finds Wilson at half forward, about 60 metres out from goal. He's looking to keep the ball close to the boundary line in the forward pocket there. Matt's involved. He just pushes a couple of Wanderers opponents out the way. Big Coleman picks up, snaps towards goal again. I think it's pretty good. He's not showing much emotion about it, but
normally celebrates.
Goal umpire likes it, I think.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh.
I think
Wasn't too sure what he was doing there.
Maybe the field umpire called it was touched off the boot, I think, because there was no one touching it the height it went through the goal.
Wanderers getting the court a bit, just going down the line. They have to really move the football a bit more, shape it. Few different angles. It's just been very predictable right now.
So White brings it into grandstand side. Just a little fumble there enabled the Saints defenders to pounce, and that was enough to get the ball over the boundary line, and it'll be a restart again.
So Brenton Motlop is the coach at Wanderers, along with Zelio Casimiro and Alan Mummery. You've got Jarrett Livingston, Connor Schiller at St Mary's, and Jordan Cullen also helping out with the boys.
Jalel wins the hit out this time, but under pressure. Jalel did really well. Quick hands out to Burke, and Burke tumbles a kick inside forward 50. But Wanderers have read it best, and Preston Patrick finds himself in some space now. He has a couple of bounces coming out of defence. He's got a Paddock in front of him on the outer side of the ground. Has 3 bounces and decides to kick now. It's a beautiful pass inside, and finds his teammate Sebastian O'Connell out wide. He plays on with a couple of bounces now, but he's run himself into some trouble, and that's a good chase down from behind and rewarded. And again, that was Connor Williams who
does those team things, doesn't he? Connor Williams, yeah, a lot of 1%ers.
Looking for McPhee in the middle there. Got one hand to it, but couldn't control it. But Saints again with numbers around the ball managed to get out of defence. It's going to bounce forward and gets down towards half forward, but Wanderers first there picked up by Braden Wright, gets the hand pass to the advantage of his teammate Paul Forrester. Forrester goes inside 50, coming out was White, almost took the mark on the second grab, but just knocked away, and now the ball loose on the ground, and force it out into some space now. Is coming in there for Wanderers was Baker. He sees a teammate in some space, and that's Howard out wide, just outside forward 50. He's calling for movement ahead of him, but not much happening. Saints have worked back pretty well in defence, and Howard goes long towards the top of the goal square instead, but kicked out of defence there for Saints, and but it's chipped over. It's intercepted again by Howard. He gets the ball inside forward 50. Bush tidying up across half back. Kicks long down the centre of the ground where Panaris is in some space. Hand passes off, and Wilson kicks over the top. He's got Armat running into the goal square. Kicks off the ground. Does it pretty well in the end. The
Bangarang!
Was bouncing a bit awkwardly, but he had full confidence just to throw his boot at it from about 10 metres out and slapped it through. So 2 in a row for him, and Saints have got the only 3 goals for the quarter.
Yeah, a bit of loose checking from Wanderers, but quick ball movement.
Yeah,
puts backlines out of position. You're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 2022-2023 TIO NTFL season. Umpires around here, guys, as well. Umpiring is a great way to get fit and get paid. St Mary's really taking control in the second quarter. Hot day here at TIO Stadium.
Yeah, so Wanderers with the first goal on the board in that first quarter, but Saints have kicked the last 5 and stretched it out to 25-point margin now, and they're just dominating in the centre of the ground as McWilliams kicks long straight down the ground. Matt was involved again, but just spilt the mark this time, but he recovers well to lay the tackle. It was Panaris in fact that laid the tackle, but Preston Patrick switches across the ground and finds his teammate Diesel Cole out there. Cole chips in short, but under pressure was Thomas Knight. Had the ball knocked away, but his jumper was grabbed at the same time, so he'll be the recipient of the free kick at half back on the outer side of the ground. Not much to go to ahead of him, and has a leading player. The ball gets over the back, which will help Kelvin Howard, who runs onto it, kicks off the ground into some space, and Wanderers have got some numbers now beautifully picked up down there, and now running away, and again players in space, and they go inside 50, but unfortunately his teammate lost his footing down there. There's a free kick been paid, so
hopefully
it's going to go Wanderers' way, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, no idea what's happened there. Or it might have been language, or yeah, it's an assumption. Johnny Frill now lining up.
Yeah,
thought it was going to be Tyson White there kicking, which would have been got a good kick.
So it was Frill that fell over as the ball came in. So umpire's obviously seen something there. But anyway, it's an opportunity for Wanderers as.
Johnny Frill also under 14's best on ground under Anthony Villojo a few years ago. So see how he goes. Yeah, just missed that.
Yeah, it's just dragged it to the right and through for a behind, and Wanderers desperately needing goals at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. Rory Fairchild's been kicking out. Jed Fairchild.
Fairchild.
Sorry, Rory, Jed. Not your brother. He's been kicking out pretty well today, hitting those 45s. Let's see how he goes. Yeah.
He's run off from the goal square this time and gone long instead, looking for McWilliams down the line, but it's punched away in defence by Wanderers out towards the boundary line. But Bush has read it best and ducks back inside and now kicks down, looking for his teammate down here in Jackson. Jackson gets it by hand to McPhee. McPhee high towards half forward. Matt underneath it. It floats over the top of him. And some Gaelic football type work there with the kick up into the hands. But Mac Jackson.
Mac Jackson, I haven't seen him before, so it looks like he might have a soccer or a rugby background. Solidly built, bit unorthodox with his kicking style, but having a crack.
Yeah.
See his biceps from here. So only got 1 minute to go here, Stu, so maybe a bit of control from Wanderers. Risky kick.
Yeah, straight up the corridor, but Howard took the mark and now chips out wide, looking for Baker. Finds him at half back. He goes back inside, back to Howard, who'd kicked it to him, and now he's got some space. He runs on now. Kicks long down towards half forward, but it's all St Mary's back here, and floating back was Ethan Bush once again, taking that intercept mark, and he just slows things down and chips it out wide. Oh, the mark's spilled out there, and gives Wanderers the opportunity to close and put some pressure on, but again a sloppy hand pass misses the target, but Bush is good enough to tidy up, and his kick finds Wilson on the outer side of the ground. He takes off now, looking for a player in some space, hits Coleman on the chest, but it bounces off his chest, and the siren goes to end proceedings for the first half.
Yeah, TIO Stadium here. We've got Wanderers 1-5-11, held goalless that quarter. St Mary's 5-5-35. Daniel Marr with 1, Byron Armat with 2, with Coleman, Starvey and McWilliams with 1 each. Bush very good for St Mary's, along with Patrick and Bromett pretty good for Wanderers. Stay tuned for the second half.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game. Competition.
Big kick inside 50. Gee, that was a very creative mark there. And he plays on Joe Salmon. A quick kick to his full forward in Calder, and that is very quick off the mark from St Mary's.
Mary's, so might put this one through as well, I'd say.
Runs around and he's happy with that. A little fist pump, and the first goal is on the board. St Mary's go 1 goal straight, 6 leading. Pint yet to score. Working it back forward again. Now with Chalmers, he's been one of the better players. Then got off to Saudi. He went to goal, and that's a big kick. That's their first ever goal in the Men's Premier League here at their home ground, DXC Arena. So
Yeoman was an absolute standout for Southern Districts. Jackson Calder plays on.
You don't see that happen often.
No, you don't. You get tackled.
Gee, that's well across the face. Still might work for them. Silver, Yusuf. Gee, what a goal that was. He's just bananaed it through. Kicked his second, and he's been on fire the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yusuf tackled. Ball comes out now. St Mary's to mop it up. Not a great one. Ciavarella, he snaps it round the corner and kicks a goal.
Yeah, well, opportunist goal there by Ciavarella. Another.
Line out. Rolls around, goes to full forward, and he's hit late,
down,
so a free kick.
Toa just ran in. It wasn't too underward, but it'll be downfield.
Is it to Ryan?
Nah, not sure. Yeah, it looks like Ryan.
And he's very
gets the
happy
goal.
with it. Kicks it, and that is through the big sticks.
For his third petition, that'll be icing on the cake.
Civarella snaps towards goal, and that, you would say, is the sealer. He's been very good tonight. That's his second, and he extends the margin out to 32 points. It's
Overall's there, ball spills, Wilson, overall calls for it, on his right boot, long handball over the top, back in front of Wilson, Hams missed the tackle, allowed Wilson to play on. And well done by the old fella there. Missed tackle there by Hams, unfortunately. He's a tough man to bring down, he's a big unit. Can't take. Picked up there by Adam Parry. Ball spills loose. Round the corner by the Nycliffe player. Geez, a chance to be touched, but they're not claiming it. That's a great goal. Great kick. Who was that? Lachlan Hooperts.
Yep.
Butler's getting the best of him. Well read there by Mensch. Slams it on his left boot. Ball goes, Eddie's lurking there. Guthrie's run on hard, out in front of Eddie. Eddie on his left, brings it round the corner beautifully. And right on cue before quarter time, Eddie kicks Palmerston's first goal.
Promo from Eddie Betts there.
Set of umpiring shots I've ever seen. Handball there, goes to the Palmerston player. He spins round, and all their hard work inside this 50 this quarter pays off. Keeps it in front, spins inboard. He's got Eddie leading hard at it, or just at his bootlaces there. Couldn't grab it. Crowd scream ball. Varco, he's got his boot to it. Varco off the ground. He's the one who put that inside 50. And late in this second quarter gets a much needed goal for Palmerston. They're right back in this. Forced to call out the back. Farah on his favoured left foot sticks it out in front of Eddie. Eddie turns on his left boot. It's an open goal square. Eddie Betts, thank you very much. From the pocket, he kicks his third. He's looking alive, and Palmerston hit the front. The defensive zone. That's a beautiful kick down there. 60 metres out, taken by Bowles. He's on his natural left foot. He's going to go to the top of the square. He's almost gone better than that. That's cleared. Dropped there by Wilson. Scott can't pick up. Over the top to Wilson. Wilson on his left foot gets some purchase on it and puts it through. And that's a much needed goal to Nycliffe. And we've got a game of footy on our hands. Yep. Ford gives it back to Mensch. Mensch on his favoured left foot sends it inside 50. Over the back there, dropped by Arne Cox. Was that Eddie? Picked up by Eddie on the right boot. Thank you very much. Eddie Betts, that's your fifth, I believe. He's running on top of the ground in this last quarter. He gives it there to John O'Farah. John O'Farah gets a little one in board and hits up the hard-leading Arne Cox. So I'd love a goal here, Palmerston. Hits it pretty well. Goal umpire doesn't move a whisker. Thank you, mother, for the Rabbits. Palmerston are up by 6 points.
future captain of the club, I'd say.
Long flying contest and dragging that in. Judged it beautifully through the air was Mazzini. Opportunity, and Mazzini read it best. So he comes in. Didn't look that great off the boot. Through for a goal, and he kicked a little bit like a defender, but he got the score on the board. There was Carroll. Handball away. Fijo comes in off the wing. Gives it off to a running teammate who lines up from outside.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, 2022-2023 NTFL season. We've got under 18 here football with Stu Davis and Rob Hale. St Mary's kicking 3 goals in that second quarter, Stu. Put that margin out to 5-5-35 to 1-5-11. Goal kickers, Daniel Marr 1 for Wanderers, Anthony McWilliams 1, Andreas Starvey and Ethan Coleman 1 each, and Byron Armat with 2.
Yeah, Saints really steadied, didn't they, after they were surprised a bit, I suppose, early in the first quarter, but yeah, they've really stamped their mark on this game in that second quarter, and been really impressed with Ethan Bush across halfback. Yeah. Robbie really controlled the game for Saints and stopped plenty of forward thrusts from Wanderers.
Yeah, Ethan Bush has been the standout for me as well. McPhee, Wilson and Fairchild also getting involved. Bromett, Patrick was really good that second quarter for Wanderers, stemming a few goals. And Frills had his moments when he's been up near the footy.
Yeah, Kelvin Howard as well, been busy around the ground.
Definitely.
So from the restart, in the to kick off the third quarter, Jalel, who did the ruck work, had his jumper pulled as he was trying to run through there, and he'll take the free kick just forward of centre for St Mary's. He's got a leading player, but ignores that and chips longer instead. But under pressure there's Wanderers players. Forrester runs it out of defence and goes wide, looking for Baker out there. He takes possession now, ducks back inside, but Bush is lurking again and chops this one off, gets the hand pass forward, and some good work off the ground. But running in there for Wanderers was Bromott. He got caught with the ball and now it spills out. There's a free kick been paid, a holding free kick, just as Saints were about to break forward. It's going Wanderers' way, and Friel, right in the centre of the ground, will take that free kick. He goes straight down the middle of the ground, and the ball slips over the top. Here's an opportunity for Wanderers running onto it now. The snapshot at goal. Oh, just went on, tried to put it across the boot and hit it. Yeah, hit it the fat part, I think. Sebastian O'Connell down there, and a missed opportunity for Wanderers early in the third quarter.
Yeah, Sebastian O'Connell, I think he's the brother of Bo O'Connell as well, Premier League player.
Similar here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Someone's just getting the footy retrieved here, so a tiny little delay. Here we go, we're back in play. Jed Fairchild there kicking out. Son of the hammer. Let's see, he's got the mullet happening.
So he comes near side of the ground and chips it down. Madrill pulled his hands away and didn't go for it in the end, as the ball on the ground now, and some good working close by Preston Patrick. Got the hand pass across. His teammates thumped it forward, but
Ethan Bush, great
no
tackle.
mark again. No possession again. That's a kicking in danger, I think you'll find, and Bush will take the free kick against O'Connell there, and
probably stiff not to get the hold of the ball there, but he backed himself up for that effort.
So ball loose on the ground. It was Knight coming in for Wanderers. He's bundled out of the way. There's a bit of action happening off the ball, I think, and
Bush gets a free kick.
yeah, De Bush was just
got frilled deep.
held on to, and he kicks inside 50 now. The ball slips out the back, and the runners are onto it. It's Friel who swings around on the left foot, chips it inboard, looking for a teammate. Oh, they're looking around at each other, but an opportunity for White here. He slams it straight into his opponent's chest, about 3 metres away from him, and Saints managed to bundle it over the boundary line. Wanderers calling for deliberate down there, but the umpire's not seeing it that way.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Wanderers a few forward 50 entries here, going to the scoring end. Try and get back in this game.
So from the hit out, the snapshot at goal goes right to the line, but Saints had a goalkeeper in place in Fairchild down there, and
come back 10 here.
He takes the mark and now just runs off as the player on the mark was finding his place. And out wide, here's an opportunity for Stavrey, who's got some space out the back. Hand passes inboard, and Saints looking to take it wide down the outer side of the ground. Oh, bounce is favourable, and they run onto it again and go long inside forward 50. They're keeping that forward line open, going to the Michael Long centre end of the ground, but Wanderers have got back in some numbers now. The jumper was dragged there, not seen. Burke comes in for Saints, picks up nicely, chips the ball out wide where he's got Panaris in some space. He controls it eventually, and now kicks high to the top of the goal square. Working back was Armat, but the ball just drifted over his head. He's back into the action now, controls it beautifully, and now snaps from the goal on the outside of the boot. It's a pretty good shot, I think. I think he's got it.
The bangarang.
That's an amazing goal out there. He looked no hope, but yeah, he was close to the behind post, and a great finish.
Yeah, that's Byron Armat in a nutshell, isn't it? He can be quiet in patches and then just really turn it on. And he turns on a dime here along the boundary. We see here on the footage, bang, and then the check side across his body. Beautiful goal.
Yes,
that's his third as well.
Defender didn't do much wrong, just was protecting the dangerous side of the ground, but he went boundary side. And
yeah, but also getting the footy in long there to him and Coleman, but if the footy hits the ground, those small forwards just make sure they're there. It took a little while to arrive, but come off in the end for him.
So that's 3 goals to Armat now, the last 3 of the game, so
yeah,
he's really come into it in the forward line for Saints.
Yep.
Jaleel doing the ruck work for Saints, gets the hit out. Wilson taps it forward again, and Jaleel just runs onto it and drives straight down the middle of the ground, and it was Coleman this time got his hands to the ball. Armat's lurking again as the hand pass comes out. Stavrey picks it up. He tries one himself this time, but just cut it a bit narrow and through for a behind.
I'm just looking at ball transition the ball. Yeah, it's also umpires around, guys. Umpiring is a great way to get fit and get paid.
So they go short, and Braden Wright has some space at half back. He just jogs off now and kicks down the line looking for White. Goes over his head, and Bush read it best, took it on the second grab, and he's having some game today as he kicks inside forward 50, looking for McWilliams down there. It's knocked away, and McWilliams has come in late and given away the free kick. So it's Katona for Wanderers, who will be the recipient.
Good contest, but just a tad late there probably.
So he chips in looking for White here, and White out in front takes the mark in his hands. Now switches inboard. That's a good pass, or just bounces off the chest there of Baker and puts himself into trouble, but he recovered pretty well and got it out wide to Marr. Marr gets dragged by the jumper. Baker comes back in to help, loses control of the ball, and Wilson, almost too clever for himself there, slipped over, but managed to get back to his feet, kicks down looking for Burke. Burke couldn't take the mark, but he recovers first and now picks up his tackled, and there was a high tackle in there, so Burke will go back and take the free kick and steady things down. You see the Wanderers players working back in defence now, so Burke just chips it out wide. He's got a runner out there in Fairchild. It slips through his hands, but he's got plenty of time and space, and picks up now, drives the ball inside forward 50, but Ahmad again tries to drill this one to a teammate, but it's chopped off, and Jaden Russell. Wanderers bring it to the grandstand side of the ground. Some clever evasive work down there. Sees the ball come out, goes over the head of McPhee, and working back here for Saints is the big fella Kazamba, who gets it to McPhee. He's in some trouble now, but hand passes out to Bush. Bush through the hands goes forward, and it's Gabiku again who gets the ball inside forward 50. Wilson runs onto it now, shows some pace, kicks it inside out, drop punt towards goal, but swings it a bit too far. That was pretty clever stuff to get the ball swinging that way, but just went a bit too far and threw for a behind.
Yeah, Brett Wilson's one of their prime movers. I reckon he's been pretty quiet today. He had a bit of a good first quarter, but probably wasn't in the best three. But other blokes have stood up today, which is a good sign of good depth in the side.
So Wanderers coming grandstand side this time. No mark taken as Russell just taps it ahead of himself now, hacks it off the ground forward. Ball's out in some space over the head of players there, and running onto it down here was Forrester for Wanderers, but Saints repel once again, and ball on the ground trying to work his way through. There was Parry, but his hand pass got smothered. McWilliams picks up, he gets tackled straight away, but dumped afterwards according to the umpire, and McWilliams will take that free kick just forward of centre. He runs around onto his favoured left foot now, kicks inside forward 50. Big Coleman comes out strongly, crashes the pack, and the ball slips over the back, and here through the hands another opportunity for Saints. The hand pass comes off, but the snap at goal from Jallo went right across the face and out of bounds on the full. So a let off there for Wanderers.
Yeah, Wanderers will have to jump the fence here and go retrieve the football. AFL and T are currently recruiting field, boundary and goal umpires for all grades. Head to umpire.afl for more information or register your interest. So umpires do receive free entry to all NTFL games as well in the umpire round this week. And that's for the whole season, the entry. Wanderers have not kicked a goal since that first goal, Stu, in about the 10-minute mark or something like that. It was early.
Yeah, they've had some chances. 1 goal, 6 on the board, but just struggling to get it out of defence now, but they've got a free kick here, so this will help them. As Katona it is with the free. He chips it around the outer side of the ground. It was a good pass, but the big fella Kazamba did well to close down and get a fist to the ball, and then drives it inside forward 50. Coleman on the end of it swings towards goal, but just misses near side. And another behind, so not much goal action in this third quarter, but Saints have got it camped in their forward line at the moment.
Yeah, if Saints become a bit more accurate, it could really blow out in this last quarter and a bit here, Stu. Saints will be going with a scoring end as well in the last quarter. See if Wanderers can get another scoring play happening here.
So brought into play by Howard. He goes long and finds his teammate down there in Bilbil. And Bilbil runs away with a couple of bounces, almost loses control, but he's still going. He's run a fair way this time. Has another bounce inside 50, now kicks towards goal, but just misses to the near side. It was a good run. He certainly ran his fair measure in the middle there, but kick to goal just faded off to the right, unfortunately for the Eagles.
That's what Wanderers can do, can't they? Sometimes they really get you out the back, and that was an example of that, but they just haven't had enough of that today. Jed Fairchild again kicking out here. He's been good down back. The young, he's under 16 eligible as well.
Played 16s last week, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was a good player when we saw him earlier in the year as well. But this time the ball's worked its way over the boundary line, so we'll have a restart at half forward for Wanderers on the outer side of the ground. So beautiful hit out down there, but again it's Saints applying the pressure in the back half, and again it's Ethan Bush who wins the free kick. He chips the ball to Fairchild in the goal square, and he comes grandstand side looking for his teammate Gabiku, who's infringed, and he'll take the free kick at half back for Saints. Bush has run off into some space, but go backwards to Fairchild instead. He drives the ball down looking for McPhee, slips through his hands, but he recovers to put some pressure on his opponent. Bromott does well for Wanderers and takes possession. Hand passes out in front of Bill now, running inside 50 again, has a bounce once again, tries to duck back around. He's under some pressure now, gets a hand pass forward, and Friel gets on the end, has a snap at goal, and that looks pretty good for Wanderers. So probably wasn't the tidiest piece of play, but at least they took him on. Bill took him on and got the ball out, and Friel was pretty clever swinging around on that left foot.
Yeah, I think Bill there, I thought he was going to get caught, but it was a good decision. Quickly handball it off to Friel. Friel is a really good around the corner snapshot. I think those two set shots he's had today have been at 40 odd out and probably just outside of his distance, but in that 25 to 30 mark around anywhere in that goal line he can snap them. Bill coming off now for a spell after a few good efforts getting Wanderers that goal.
Yeah, he's been good down this wing side, hasn't he, in the last few minutes. But just like I said, just taking it on and trying to break it open a bit, which is what they need. Which
is Wanderers have lacked today, and you've seen Saints just switch the ball there and had a lot of blokes covering and coming pushing across for that switch kick. Didn't come off from, but they worked hard for it. Brett Wilson and Burke in there, and Burke clearing it out here.
Yep, and out to the advantage of Jallo, who runs onto it now. His kick's touched off the boot, I think. No, it's not. It's Mark's been paid in defence, so Wright as his captain out here, and White in some space. He jogs off with a bounce and now kicks forward and infringed after he disposed of the ball, so it's a downfield free kick, and Wanderers looking to move it quickly, but going to have to go back over the mark here is Sebastian O'Connell. So
hopefully Wanderers can make something of this play here. Another forward 50 entry for him. We've got 2 minutes to go on the clock here.
Hand passes off to White, running through, runs into the umpire, but manages to get free, and now long towards goal. It goes over the top of the couple of players there in the contest and bounced through for a behind only. So it's they've got it down in the right end of the ground, but just only been able to score the one goal since quarter time. So
yeah, it's one goal each for both sides, and I think the weather's starting to take a toll on the guys. It is extremely hot down here.
So the kick comes in. White does really well again for Wanderers, just cutting across the front of the pack there, takes the mark. He's calling for someone to hit up there. It's a bit of a floater of a kick inside, but Friel goal. It's a nice hand pass across to his teammate in DeBush, but DeBush's kick just fades across the face of goal and bounced just inside the boundary line, I think.
Yeah, number 2 for Wanderers, Tyson White's been really good in this 5-minute patch here. He's got that. Yep. It's the sort of talent he has. He's been in and out of the game a bit. But he can bring him back into this, and they get another goal here. It gives them a little bit of hope coming in the last quarter. Only a minute to go.
So from the stoppage, Saints work it out. The kick from Mac Jackson gets outside defensive 50. Bounce favours Wanderers as Knight gets a hand pass across, but Jalel in there for Saints just thumps it out and gets it forward, and booted forward again by Wanderers towards the wing. Jalel's involved again, gets a quick hand pass across the top, and the ball comes back to him. He kicks this time down the line. The bounce doesn't favour McWilliams, and Wanderers now looking to bring the ball back through the centre corridor. Just slipped through the hands there of DeBush, unfortunately for Wanderers, and now Saints have got some players out. King by hand gets it forward, but Wanderers have worked back pretty well and looking to run the ball out of defence now. Wright gets the hand pass across the top, just misses the target. Bush comes in and closes on his opponent enough to worry them out of it, but running in for Wanderers was Baker, who kicked high into space, not direct to a teammate at all really, and Burke worked back for Saints. He looks for Madrill in there. Madrill gets the hand pass under some pressure and now works in hard again as the siren goes to end the quarter. So a goal each in that quarter, but Wanderers really needed to make an impact on the scoreboard, Robbie.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Especially at the scoring end as it worked out. John Friel ended up with 1 that quarter. Daniel Mark hit 1 in the first. Singles for St Mary's, Anthony McWilliams, Andreas Starvey and Ethan Coleman, and the big bangarang with 3. 6-8-44 St Mary's lead Wanderers 2-7-8 that should be 2-7-8-20. Coming into the third quarter, stay tuned.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by McCarthy.
Welcome to TIO Stadium. Start of the last quarter here. Wanderers with Stu Davis and Robbie Hale. Wanderers just fought back that quarter, kicking another goal. 1 goal each for that quarter. Goals to Ma, Frill for Wanderers, and McWilliams, Starvey, Coleman, and Bangarang Armat. Byron Armat's got his 3. Ethan Bush is standout for the Saners. And for Wanderers, I think Patrick's been alright. Wright's been good down back. And White's been good when he's got the footy.
Yeah, so 1 goal 3 apiece in that third quarter, and as we said going into the break, Wanderers really would have been looking to make an impact on the scoreboard. So I think Saints would be pretty happy with where they sit. We've mentioned a couple of times the conditions are pretty difficult in the middle of the day here in October in Darwin, and Saints have done enough early to set themselves up for the win.
Yeah, and the umpires have struggled a bit with the heat. Not having boundary umpires, so the umpires are recruiting boundary and goal umpires for all grades. Head to umpire.afl for more information to register your interest. Anyone aged 12 or above are welcome to be involved, and the trainings at TIO Stadium on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. There's no game without the umpires, guys, so let's get around them. Jed Fairchild's been very good today as well. I think has he moved on the ball? No. See how they go in this last quarter.
So it's I think that is Fairchild in the middle, who's won that clearance, got it down to half forward. McWilliams traps it and swings around on the left foot, gets it down towards full forward, and just running in there. Dropped the ball on the ground. Play on was the call. Coleman snaps around the corner. He likes it this time. He's having a look at the crowd and letting them know that he's got it. No problems this time. So a great start for Saints in this last quarter.
Yeah, great start there by Ethan Coleman. That contest there, that's one of those free kicks that I'd like to get stamped out of the territory football. You know, you get tackled and your handball on the ground, drop it. You know, and that should have been holding the ball there. This one here.
Yep.
But you know, Ethan Coleman, great snap. He has got a good little kick on him when he does hit it. And that guy Fairchild that we're talking about, starting on the ball and just straight away first clearance, which is good for a 15-year-old. Historically, the scoring end here as well, guys. So there was a quick goal, 1 minute in, and the umpire's throwing it up again.
So thumped out of there by the big fella Kazamba for Saints, but Wanderers first hands on the ball at the back of the centre square. They've got some numbers working in hard in there. A solid bump got rid of Knight, but again, it's plenty of players in close. Diesel Cole was involved, got a quick hand pass out, and now the ball spills free, but there's a whistle on the play, and it's a Saints free kick, and it's Wilson, I think, who will take the free kick on the outer side, about 65 out from goal. He drills it inside 50. Good defensive work down there by Patrick for Wanderers, and he clears grandstand side, but it's all Saints lining up out there, and Jed Fairchild takes the mark, switches the ball back inside the corridor. A great hit, but Panaris just spilled it off his chest down there, and Saints under pressure again, but McWilliams finds a bit of space, drills another pass inside 50, and gee, you'd like to be on the end of those, Robbie.
Yeah, McWilliams, he's got a bit of attributes to play that high half forward role, doesn't he? He hits up well, and then when he wheels and goes and uses his leg, he laces them out. Bangarang Ahmad had a really good lead there. Just Brett Wilson had to be quicker getting that footy to him. You just seen then the corridor opened up, and Jed Fairchild just took it and bit that one off, and you know, the young player should have marked that. But regardless, they crumbed it and got into the hands of Big Coleman, going for his third today.
Yeah, he's certainly a presence up forward, isn't he? And him and Ahmad in partnership are pretty formidable down there.
He's a big body and he uses it, so that's all you can do. Right,
just dragged it to the left, so behind only, and Wanderers will restart once again. Preston Patrick from the defensive goal square goes straight down the middle of the ground high, getting underneath this one. White got his hands to the ball, but just couldn't take the mark, and now there's a pack of players. McPhee gets a quick kick out through the hands there of Katona, but managed to get back onto it. Now an opportunity for Bill tapping the ball in front of himself, but working in hard was Jalel for Saints, but the applying the pressure. It's there's no easy touches out there. Bush gets on the end of this one, swings back onto the right foot, and now kicks high into no man's land really, but well read down there and marked by Bromott, who spreads to the grandstand side of the ground. Coming across was big Kazamba, but Wanderers had the numbers and got it forward, inside forward 50. O'Connell with a quick kick out here looking for his teammate who was closed down pretty quickly by the Saints defenders, and now Friel tried to swing to the right. There's a free kick being paid here. It's off the play, I think it was, so the free kick will go down the ground to St Mary's, and Fairchild drives it long, and that's a good pass and well read by McWilliams. He swings around on that left foot now, tries to drill another pass, but hacked off the ground there by Jaden Russell, and Wanderers looking to take the ball forward now, just slips through the hands unfortunately there, and Jalel applying the pressure, and he'll receive the free kick for a high tackle, and he's had bounced back pretty well today. He was a bit disappointing last week, I thought, Robbie. He's done a bit of ruck work and been around the ball a bit, been pretty good for Saints today.
Yeah, it's definitely been a positive because they have had a couple of prime movers out, and you need those next guys to stand up, and I thought it was a winnable game for Wanderers at the start, but they just haven't. Yeah, those next players have stood up for them.
So working it out of half back, Possingham breaks into some space, kicks into the centre, goes through the hands of Bill Burke, tidies up, chips the ball forward. Fairchild underneath it just manhandled his opponent a bit, and Kelvin Howard will take the free kick. But, he's got some players wide on the grandstand side, but he's looking for other options and goes corridor instead, and that's a good pass, and he hits O'Connell in the centre of the ground. O'Connell wheels around on the right foot, kicks inside forward 50, and another good kick, and just held his ground really well there to take the mark under some pressure, and it'll be an opportunity for Friel once again.
Yeah, I reckon he's just outside of his range here. Let's see how he goes though. Might jinx me.
So Friel's kick on the way looks pretty good. I think he's covered the distance pretty well, Robbie.
Yeah.
And straight through as well. So that's a terrific finish and a good build up from Wanderers. Some good use of the ball going inside, and Friel finished it off nicely. So he's kicked the last couple for Wanderers, the two that they've kicked in this half, and been a dangerous forward.
Every scoring player they've had, Friel's got his hands on it, and he has been good. There's been a few different scoring plays, and just been playing deep forward and coming onto the ball, but yeah, they just haven't been able to get the footy in there to him as much as they need. He's going onto the ball now.
Yeah, looks like
he's been a standout for them today.
Yep.
Along with Bromett. Right, and De Bush has been okay on a wing at times, number 1.
So umpire's happy that everyone's set up, and we're underway again. This time it's Saints again, but hand pass just straight into the Wanderers' opponent as Friel dives in. He's said, umpire says his legs were taken from him, so he'll take the free kick. He kicks it inside forward 50 now, and marking contest, the ball spills to the ground. Madrill gets the hand pass out and kicked away there by Bush, but Mark Spilt and Fairchild gets involved. He gets a hand pass to Kazamba again. He kicks high in towards the centre of the ground. The ball evades all players there and bounces. Wilson on the end of it, picks up and hacks it forward straight down the corridor. Good defensive work down there once again by Patrick for Wanderers, and now McWilliams picks up, gets a hand pass to the big fella Coleman, slips through the hands there and out the back, but Wanderers have got the numbers, and Katona tidies up and kicks grandstand side, but Saints are going to be first there through Panaris. Just mishandled the ball as he tried to evade his opponent. Coming in there for Wanderers was Knight, looked to get one across the shoulder, but play on's a call as Jalel has his kick smothered. He's hobbling a bit out of that, but I think he's okay now. And again for Wanderers, it's Knight who clears out of defence close to the boundary line, and unfortunately for Wanderers, Bromott just couldn't keep it in play.
Umpiring is a great way to get fit and get paid, guys. NTFL umpires training is held at TIO stadiums on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30. Umpires around this week. Good tap out.
Yep, and Saints running onto it here. Wilson, it's Jallo, who picks up and hacks it forward, but bounces over the boundary line. So
yeah, if you're watching at home as well, ladies and gentlemen, it's really hot conditions here at TIO Stadium. Both sides have limited players on the bench, so they're just rotating heavily, and it's definitely taking the sting out of the game now coming in this last quarter. McWilliams comes off now for a spell. Could be done for the day almost.
So from the restart, there's a Saints free kick for a block here, I think.
Yep.
And
so Big Semi shoots at goal here.
Yes, Big Kazamba, who's pretty well dominated in the ruck contest today and given Saints first opportunity from around the stoppages, but it's a different ball game for him, having a set shot at goal. His kick floats towards goal. It's going to be all right, I think, and his teammates get around him. That's a good finish, and I'd say probably a reasonably rare goal for him.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a helicopter. That's his first for the day, and Ethan Coleman's got the 2, Byron Armott with the 3, McWilliams 1 and Stabby 1. St Mary's flexing a bit of muscle here, Stu. I'd probably now have them as the best side in the 18s. Palmerston are going to have some good players as well, so they'd probably be the top 2, depending on, the 18s is a very transient age group. A lot of kids going to boarding school and coming back, so some sides are stronger over the Christmas break, and so St Mary's getting some good early wins here to put them in that top 3 bracket.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to cover all 3 of their games in the first 4 rounds, and they have impressed. But as I said, I think the competition's pretty good, and most teams are competitive. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out as that quick kick goes inside, and it's Wanderers who are looking to go forward. O'Connell has a bit of a fly at it, then drags the jumper of his opponent, and he gives away the free kick, and Kabiku will take that free kick basically in the centre of the ground, chips the ball forward, it goes over the head of his intended opponent, and coming in is Katona tidying up for Wanderers as Howard works his opponent under the ball and then runs onto it himself. Looked to hand pass to a teammate and then instead hand passed out in front of himself, but Saints have closed him down. There's a free kick here for some illegal work off the ball, and good work by Howard once again, and the kick is good, finds his teammate inside forward 50.
Bill, I believe. Yeah, Bill's got some good talent, but just haven't seen enough of him today. That really good scoring play in that 3rd quarter, which linked in, which got him a point, but got the footy up the other end.
So Saints just scrambling to cover some loose players here, but Bill's taking his time and kicking towards goal anyway, but that one was always missing to the right and just faded further away and out of bounds on the full as Madrill chips around to Ethan Bush on the outer side of the ground. Bush has got running player, it's Madrill again running forward, but it goes over his head, and now it's Saints going forward through Parry, gets it down to half forward, ball slips out the back, and Wanderers strong in defence, and Forrester thumps the ball back in the direction that it came from, but Burke lurking around the back does well to gather and get a quick kick forward, and now they use it through the hands, and Madrill chips it down towards centre half forward. Mark Spilt there, and coming in for Wanderers was Howard, but he's thumped it straight into a nest of Saints players, but fortunately for Wanderers he got dumped after he kicked the ball, and it's a downfield free kick, and they've got players in some space out here as O'Connell takes the mark, runs on, kicks inside 50, and just missed the target out wide. Friel comes in now, taps it in front of himself, then takes possession, gets the hand pass across. Ball spilled out there by Wright, still in the action. Friel comes in to support, but Saints through the hands. Madrill gets it out to the advantage of his teammate out there, Michael Williams, and Saints are able to clear it out of defence round the outer side of the ground, but Wanderers again chop it off, and the kick comes back inboard, but mark spilt by O'Connell this time, and Saints working hard in defence, hacked off the ground by Burke. Again, mark knock taken in the middle of the ground, and so Mary's just looking to run the ball away now, and That's a long kick forward by Mac Jackson, inside forward 50. Wanderers defence scrambling down here, but Saints appear to have the numbers as Armat gets a hand pass looking for Panaris, just couldn't take it cleanly. Gazebo in there working hard, and now Jackson gets the hand pass back, and Fairchild hits the pass, but Mark spilt, but Saints still with the numbers, and a snap at goal on the left foot, just missed to the left hand side from Gabiku.
Yeah, Gabiku's one that's, I don't think he's been in the best players in any of the games that we've called, but he's just been consistent, hasn't he? He looks like he's athletic, he can run, pretty strongly
strong
built.
Body play.
Yeah, he's probably always been around that 7 to 10 best player, probably every time we've watched him, and they know what they're getting from him. Nice torpedo there.
Yeah, and hits the target as well, so that's Bill again, and he's got a runner through the middle of the ground, but unfortunately goes through the hands of Dylan Baker there, and Saints players pounce on it. McWilliams gets a hand pass across the top to Burke. He goes out wide to Gabiku. He tries to break away from his opponent, does so. Hand passes forward now to Fairchild. He swings around on the right foot, kicks high to the top of the goal square. Ball slips over the back from the marking contest, but players can't reach it before it bounces over and through for another behind. So
I think both teams are counting down the minutes now.
Yeah, only a minute or so to go in this contest, and Saints have well and truly got it wrapped up. And there's Ethan Bush just to cap off his game, I think, with another intercept mark. And, he's been very good today. He drives the ball back inside forward 50 in the marking contest. The ball spills forward, and Wanderers bring it away, but they've got no one on the end of this as King comes across. He hacks the ball down the line, just keeps it in play before it bounces out. Trying to keep it in down there was Mac Jackson, but it was well and truly over the line, and we'll have a restart with about half a minute left on the clock.
So for the viewers at home, Nightcliff versus Tiwi at 2:30 at Nightcliff Oval today. St Mary's versus Wanderers in the women's at 5. St Mary's Wanderers in the men's Prems at 7. And tomorrow, Bus versus Crocs at 4:30. Mitch Robinson in for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, really interesting.
I'm commentating that one tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be terrific out at Kazali Stadium, which is an unusual venue.
Yeah, Buffalo home grounds, and Buffalo people get there and put your money on the bar there for your club. Always got him.
So, quick chip in, and the siren goes as the ball slipped over the back, and Matt was looking to pounce for another goal, but couldn't get there in time. So, in the end, a pretty solid win for St Mary's, Robbie.
Yeah, definitely. Johnny Frill got his 2, not Daniel Marr. John Frill best, I think, for Wanderers. Bromett, Wright and Howard were good for the Eagles as well. St Mary's, Anthony McWilliams with 1 with Stavy and Semi Kazumba. They won each. Ethan Coleman 2, Byron Omat 3. Coleman and McWilliams were good for him. I had McPhee 1 vote, 2 to Fairchild. And I think best on, we both agree on Bush. Very good, number 13 for St Mary's down back. Stay tuned on NT News, 2:30 p.m. Nightcliff Oval versus Nightcliff v Tiwi, and the women's at 5 o'clock at TIO Stadium. Thanks, guys.